me. Okay, correct? Okay, very good, amazing. So today I have two kinds of news for you. Okay, there is a good news and there is another news which is not very good. So which one do you want to hear first? Which news do you want to hear first? Tell me. You can write in the chat box. The good news or the not so good news? Okay. But in the end, okay, I'll tell you one thing. You have to listen to both, okay? Because both are very important, not just because, there is a news. It is related to what you are going to do today only, okay? But in the end, the not so good news, I'll say, that will become good news only. So don't worry. The not so good news will become good news only. So it is not so good just for a very small amount of time. Okay? Correct? Yes, very good. So the good news is that I will start with that. Today's lesson is not very big. Today's lesson is not very big, okay? We can wrap up little bit earlier, okay? If you understand everything properly, we can wrap up a little bit earlier, and which means you have more time for yourself. The bad news, which is not very good, is in this, whatever we are going to learn today, okay, there's a lot of things to minutely remember. It is not that, I'm going to give you the news and you just, okay, fine, the class is over, done. It is not a very big class, okay, as we had done earlier in our previous classes, but you have to remember very small things in that small class only, which means your brain needs to expand, correct? But don't worry, it is only for the time being. When you have learned everything, everything is going to become very easy. And that is why for today, the topic that I'm going to teach you today, I have planned to divide it into two classes. I'm not going to do everything today because I know it might take some time for you to understand everything. Okay. But don't worry, just temporarily. I am there to help you and I'll always clear your concerns every single class. Okay. After the discussion, after the class. Okay. So I'll divide into two classes so that we do not, in one day we don't do a lot of things, but you get 1 week to practice what I do today. Okay. And in the next class, we will do the next half so that you get to practice. We have 2 weeks for this lesson. Okay. And I have done this only for you. Had I wanted, I could have, completed everything by today. It would have taken me 15-20 minutes more. But the thing is about not me telling you only, you have to understand also, right? So can you guess what we are going to do today? It is something very integral to our everyday life. Okay. Not just Spanish or English or Bengali or Hindi. It is very important in every daily you use this thing. We use this daily, every single day. It is there everywhere. Okay. Like oxygen, it's like oxygen. Something that I'm going to teach you today. Of course, related to Spanish only. Can you guess any wild guess what it can be? I know it is not easy to guess, but still. Can anyone guess what it might be? Okay. No guesses? No guesses, I think, na? You can't guess what I'm going to do. Okay. So today I'm going to teach you Spanish numbers, okay? I'm going to teach you numbers in Spanish. And you know the meaning of numbers? You know what is numbers, right? Numbers means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, correct? And multiples of that, 100, 200, 300. Yes, we are going to learn Spanish numbers. And what is important in numbers? You cannot pass a single day without counting. Even when I'm telling you, has everybody joined? I'm looking at the number of people who have joined, okay? This Zoom call, the number of people who have joined this Zoom call, whether it's 100, 200, 300, whatever it is, okay? And there also it's a number, correct? When I tell you the class is going to start officially at 4, though you guys, all of you do not join exactly at 4, some of you join at 4, 5. That is not right, okay? I'm not saying it is good. It is not at all good, but still, we always look at a time, and the time is also a number. Understanding what I'm saying? Why numbers are important? Yes, the time is also a number, right? The time when your class ends is also a number, okay? The number of times you call your friend is also a number, okay? The number of times you eat also has a number, correct? Understanding what I'm saying? So number is integral to everything that we do in our daily life. It is not that you don't need it today, you need it tomorrow, the day after. No, your marks in the exams also are a number, right? So understand, it is there everywhere. It's like oxygen only. Correct? We have classes once a week on Saturdays. So Saturday once a week is also a number, right? 7 days a week is also a number. Okay. So without making you understand the importance of numbers, I'm sure you all know how important it is. I'm going to start it. Okay. And after the lesson, I'll give you a space where we can discuss. And again, one thing, okay? Sit, as I always say, with a pen and a diary in a proper way on a chair in front of a table and take notes. Okay. Do not just sleep and listen. I will share the slides, but in slides, there are a lot of extra things I will be saying. Like as we proceed with the slides, I might be saying something more. So note those down. Okay. If I'm saying an example of something, just note it down because it will be very important for you. Correct? So can I start the lesson today? Raise your hands. Yes. Good. Okay. So I'm going to share the slides. All right. Can you see the screen, guys? Yes. Numbers in Spanish. Okay. So if I want to say the same thing in Spanish, it will be los números en español. Okay. Los números en español. It means numbers in Spanish. Okay. Los números, the numbers, en español, in Spanish. Correct? There is a like photo of a bull over here. Okay. You can see I've given that. And as you get to know more about Spanish culture, you will know that the bull is a very integral part. Okay, los toros. They call the bull los toros. Okay, it's a very, very integral part of like Spain, especially. Okay, Zaragoza, Madrid. Because earlier, like talking a little bit more about culture and history, people in Spain started something called the bullfight, and people used to gather in a place and they used to watch the person fight with the bull. Okay, with a red cloth. I'm sure many of you know this. Okay, you can Google on YouTube that bullfight in Spain and Zaragoza, especially the place called Zaragoza in Spain. Over there they used to have a bullfight. So it's very interesting, though it is considered a little bit inhuman, but still right now more animal protection actions are being taken. But earlier this was a sort of entertainment for people. Okay, so if you want, you can search about this. That is why I've given this photo. I liked it. Okay, so numbers in Spanish, right? Most of us don't need to do anything complicated or any complicated math, okay, on a regular basis, unless that happens to be part of your job description. Okay, but we all still use numbers all the time, whether you like them or not. Correct? We all look at the clock a few times a day. As I told you, we go shopping and we look at the prices of the products. Whatever money you spend on something, that money itself is a number. Correct? That money itself is a number. So you see, numbers are there everywhere. Even in money, even in price, you need it, right? We all need to count things sometimes. We can count our money, or how many cartons of milk we have left for your food, for your breakfast, or how many steps there are from the entrance of your house to your room. Understanding what I'm saying? Okay, the steps that you take, the stairs. Okay, when you walk, okay, you're also following the numbers, because you put your steps 1 2 3 4 and you move ahead, right, when you're walking. Or maybe how many days there are left until a special occasion. Your birthday is also a number. Okay, like my birthday is in July. I will not tell you the date. Then all of you will start sending me messages. All of you suddenly. You will get to know if you want. But my birthday is in July, and July is again the 7th month of the whole year, right? Of the 12 months. So that's also a number, correct? So that is how why numbers are so important in every aspect of life. So today, what are we going to learn in this lesson? Okay. And as I said, it is not that I will complete everything today. Okay. I will start with this. Okay. And in the next lesson, I will do the other half, which is again based on this previous lesson. Okay. You will learn more things about how to say numbers, how to say the time and everything. So today we are going to learn everything you need to know about using numbers in Spanish, including how to count, how to write and pronounce Spanish numbers from 1 to 100 and higher. Okay. So one, saying the numbers, you will learn how to say the numbers. Giving your phone number to someone, if you want to give your phone number, okay. Saying prices and shopping, this will come a bit later, but it will come. Okay. In the second class, I will do this. Telling the time, saying dates and basic mathematics. Okay. So basic mathematics, addition, subtraction, okay, multiplication and division. Small things, but which is there everywhere. I will do a lot of things from here the second day, because before, being able to say dates and telling the time, I think it is more important for you to know what are the numbers, like, one, what is one, what is two, what is three, okay, what is four, okay. So for that, today is the day I'm going to teach you the basics of this. And C means yes over here, okay. You can note it down. C means yes in Spanish. So the first one, when I say numbers, Spanish numbers, 1 to 10, okay. And this has to be, like the way you drink water. It has to be like water in your head. You must memorize this like anything, because everything starts from here, okay. And it is not only in maths that you use it, but in everyday conversation also you'll be needing these things, okay. So all of you know what is one. One is uno. Many of you have heard uno before, like in numero uno. People have said this before. Numero uno means number one, okay. If you have heard this but don't know what it means, today know this, that numero uno means number one, okay. So Spanish numbers, one is uno or numero uno, number one, okay. Two is dos, 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 okay. If you want, you can write this down also, because that will help you to remember more rather than just looking at the slides. Write it down. One is uno, two is dos, okay. Two is dos, three is tres, three is tres, 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 okay. Four is cuatro, cuatro, okay. Four is cuatro. Look at the way I'm pronouncing it, because you have to pronounce it in the same way. All right. Four is cuatro. Five is cinco. Cinco. Remember first class alphabets? I did alphabets in the first class. Yes. In alphabets, I told you how to say what, how to pronounce what. Okay. When I comes after a C, it becomes sir, S pronunciation. Yes. But when in the above C, it is written cuatro for four. When another vowel, A, E, I, O, U, U is another vowel which comes after C, it becomes K. Are you understanding? So today you will not only learn numbers, but you can also check now whatever I have taught you before. You can match that with today, the way I'm pronouncing. Okay. So cuatro is a K because a strong vowel U, okay, is coming after C, and I is a weaker vowel which is coming after C, and C is becoming S. That is cinco. It is not, K. It is cinco. Okay. Just like O. CO is co. It is not so, right? Cinco. Correct? Moving on to the next. Six is seis. Six is seis. Okay. Seis. The focus is on E, not on I. Understanding what I'm saying, guys? The stress is on E, not on I. Because E is, takes over the I, because E is comparatively stronger than I. Okay, that is why the E will take the stress. These are again stress, things related to, how you pronounce and stress. So when like there are two vowels like this says, okay, the E will take over and I will not be given so much of focus, like says, not says, no, says. Understanding? Seven is siete, siete. It's not siete, no, it's siete. Because again, E is taking over the I. Okay, because E is stronger than I. That is why. Okay, siete. It is not siete again. Siete. Okay, siete. Correct. Eight is ocho. Eight is ocho. O-C-H-O. Eight is ocho. Nine is nueve. Nueve. Okay, nueve. Is that nueve? No, it's nueve. E is a little bit more stressed, but there is no such difference, okay? Like as in I, it's nueve. And 10 is diez. Diez, okay? Diez, correct? So say with me, speak with me. Okay, I'm sure you have written this. If you're done with writing, pronounce it to yourself. 1 is número uno. 2 is número dos. 3 is número tres. 4 is número cuatro. 5 is número cinco. 6 is número seis. 7 is número siete. 8 is número ocho. 9 is número nueve. And 10 is número diez. Is this clear or shall I repeat? Raise your hands if you want me to repeat. Those who want me to repeat, only those raise your hands. If this is clear, I'll move ahead to the next slide. Okay, very few people have raised their hands, which means all of you understood, right? All of you understood how to pronounce this. Correct? Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve, diez. Okay? This will become very easy, you know, once you practice this, once you get used to this, it's gonna become very easy. Okay, it's one of the easiest things in the whole world, but when you're learning it for the first time, it can get a little bit, you know, you have to pay a lot of attention because these are numbers. Okay, like uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve, diez. It is like that. You can say it very fast, but it'll take time. After 1 week, it will be easier. Don't worry. Okay, I'll move on to the next slide. Numbers 0 to 9. Okay, numbers 0 to 9. Okay, let's start with the basics. Normally, one of the first things you learn in Spanish is how to count from 0 to 10, just like we did. So it might, you know, so you might already know this, but we'll show it here just in case. There are, after all, they are some of the most important numbers in learning Spanish, as I told you earlier. So let's see what's there afterwards. Yeah, I've written this down over here also. Números and palabras. I've written this down. Números and palabras. Okay. 0. Números means numbers and palabras means words. Correct? 0 is cero. Cero. Okay. Cero. Again, C. The E is coming after C, and that is why it is sir. It is not ka. Right? Had this E been an A, C-A-R-O, it would have been caro. Caro. What is the meaning of caro? Caro means expensive. Caro means expensive. But when E is coming after C, it is becoming cero, which means zero. Okay? Zero. Correct? 1 is uno. You know what is uno, I already told you. Or un. Un is un. If it is in front of a noun, because it becomes an article. For example, un perro means a dog. You can write this down. Un perro means a dog. Okay? Un perro means a dog. Okay? Perro is a masculine word. That is why uno becomes un. Okay? You will not say uno perro. No. I will teach this to you later. Okay? When I'm going to teach you articles. But as of now, remember, when, you know, perro is a masculine singular, meaning dog. Had it been plural, it would have been perros. P-E-R-R-O-S. Perros. But it is singular, and that is why un perro, a dog. One dog, un perro. Okay? Un perro means one dog. Correct? 2 is dos. Again, same thing. Revise this. 3 is tres. 4 is cuatro. 5 is cinco. 6 is seis. 7 is siete. 8 is ocho. 9 is nueve. And 10 is diez. Okay? It's very easy, right? Now, numbers 10 to 99. Okay? It's time to start learning some more numbers. So, just so you know, once we read number 16, that is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, numbers start following a clear pattern, even though it might seem confusing at first in Spanish language, okay? This is why here we will begin by explaining the hardest one, that is, 16. And then we promise the next numbers will be incredibly easy to understand. So here, basically, you just learned from 0 to 10. Now, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, correct? So after 10, after 10, okay, there's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, till 20. So you will see that once you know till number 16 and you understand why it is like that, it will be very easy for you to understand again the pattern in the numbers. There is something called a pattern in life, okay? It is not that you have to memorize everything. After a certain phase, you will understand that there's a pattern and you will follow the pattern, things becomes very easy. Remember when you first started going to school, okay, at class 1 and class 2, classes and the subjects seem to be so difficult. So many new subjects were there. First, when you were in nursery, lower KG, whatever your school called it. In my school, South Point, we used to call it, nursery 1, nursery 2 transition. Then it was class 1, okay? These are basically primary stages. At that time, we had only 2 subjects, English and Bangla, or a little bit of mathematics, 3 subjects. And others were, PT, drawing and all. So things were very easy at that time. Once we started, in class 1 and 2, okay, things became very big, like so many subjects were there, so many new subjects, and I'm saying this to make you understand why understanding the pattern in anything is very important. Suddenly when I went to class 2, I saw I had to spend 3 to 4 more hours in school. Before this, I used to go to school at 10 or 10:30, and school used to get over by 1 or 1:30. After class 1, that is in class 2, classes used to extend from 1:30 to 5:30 or 5:15, and we had to spend the whole time in school learning subjects like geography, history, and all those extra subjects, EVS, environmental education. So many new subjects were there, okay? So we were like thinking, oh my god, so many new things are there, how will I understand? But once I completed class 1 and went to class 2 understanding, class 2, everybody of you have been in class 2. Over there, okay, like everything again was the same subjects of class 1 were in class 2. Yes, new things were there because class 1 syllabus and class 2 syllabus is different, right? In class 2, there is more information. And again, from class 2, I went to class 3, same subjects were there, but little bit more information. Class 4 also same subjects, again little bit more information, but the same thing. Subjects were the same, right? So, there's a pattern. We understood that, okay, so these are the subjects that will be there, and I'm going to learn everything based on that subject, right? Same for Spanish numbers. Once you understand the pattern in everything, okay, you can already guess and understand logically what will be the next one, okay? So here I have explained 16 DC says. So just focus a little bit on 16 right now. I will tell you what the other numbers are. Don't worry. Okay, you will learn all the numbers. As of now, focus on 16. DC says is nothing more than DS E says. 10 and 6 put together, 10 and 6. Understanding this, DS and says is 1 6. That is called DAC says. Understanding? Is it easy? It's just clubbed together, right? DS and says. DS means 10. Says means 6. Correct. You just learned this. And 16 is 10 plus 6. So it's DAC says. It's very easy, okay? You will understand it more, okay? So you might notice it is not written exactly the same way, okay? Like DAC says. It is DAC says. But that happens for a reason, okay? So you might be asking, why is it like this? Why is it that, it is DAC says, but we, write an I and together. Why is it like this? So I will tell you why these steps are there, why this is analyzed in this way, okay? So let's see why it is done so that later on you understand why it is done, okay? By yourself only. Yeah. So you will see DS has a Z, okay? DS, D-I-Z, DS. The Z turns to C in DAC says. It is not DAZ says. No, it is DAC says. Why? Because the first change is the Z we had in the word DS that turns into C in DAC says. as well as in the words for the following numbers. Like there are a few more numbers like 17, 18, which are basically 17 and 18, okay? 17 is 17, 10 and 7. Is it getting difficult? Okay, is it getting difficult? Shall I slow it down? If you think it is difficult only, then raise your hands. Do not raise your hand just like that. If you think I should slow down, or if you want more examples, raise your hands. Okay? Correct? Okay. So 10 is 10 and 7 is 7, okay? Consult the notes that you wrote. I told you to write by hand, remember? If you did not do it, you will be having a problem right now because I cannot go back to the previous slides. So that's why I told you to write it down in front of your copy, right? So everything I'm saying makes a sense to you. Now you understand why it's important to follow. If you have not done it, only then. If you have done it, very good, okay? Very good. So just check your notes. You've written 10 after 10 and 7 after 7. So 17 naturally becomes 7. Okay? Again, next one, 18 is 18. 10 and 8. 18, same, right? 18. 10 plus 8 is 18. So here the Z turns into C. Why? Don't let this confuse you. You're better than that. In Spanish, the letter C in front of the vowels E and I has the exact same sound as Z, which is like the th sound in thanks, right? Thanks. Correct? While every other time it should have a K sound. Now, what is that? In Spanish, the letter C, yes, in front of the vowels E and I has the same sound as that of Z, like thanks, Desi says, right? While in every other time it should have a K sound, okay? Moreover, for other reasons, we don't use the letter Z in front of those two vowels. In this case, what's the letter that's after C? That is right, an I, right? We have written an I in place of Y, which means it has the exact same sound as in DS. So the I is the same I in DS, okay? It's the same. It's like 16, 17, 18, okay? 16, 17, 18, okay? The next one you will see, okay, the Y turns into I. The Y has turned into I. There is no DSE says, it is DSE says. Why does this happen? The second change is another letter changing and it's very similar to the previous one. In Spanish, the word for and is E. Okay? E means and. Write this down. E means and in Spanish. Okay? So if we wanted to put these words together, it would look like DSE says. Correct? Together, DSE says becomes DSE says. Understanding, guys? Yes? It's very easy. Don't worry. I will explain you everything. Now, the combination of the letters C plus Y is very uncommon in Spanish. In fact, it only exists in a very few foreign words like cyan. Cyan is a color, okay? Cyan blue. Cyan is a particular color in English. And it's a borrowed word. Cyan is not, integral to Spanish. It is actually a borrowed word, okay? So that is borrowed from English to Spanish. That is the reason to make it look more aesthetic. We have changed the Y into an I, okay? Cyan is a very light blue color, okay? If you check this, the color between blue and green in the visible spectrum, right? Okay, it's cyan, C-Y-A-N, okay? So that is the reason why, okay, like C plus Y usually does not come together in Spanish. That is why we replace it with I to make it look better. There is no other reason, just to make it look better, okay? See, you will understand it looks better when you write DSC says with an I than a Y, okay? As you learn more, you will get to know this, okay? As of now, just remember this. And another change is that the E, okay, turns into an accent E, okay, with an acute accent, okay? This is called a tilde. This accent is called tilde. Finally, the last change is one that we'll only see in a couple more numbers. The reason for this change is based on the rules of Spanish accent. We don't get too much into it right now, but basically one of these rules is that the words that end in vowel plus s, the words that end in a vowel plus s, like this one, that are stressed on the last syllable, always have an accent. This is a rule, okay? Don't try to understand it. It is a rule, okay? We won't get into this right now because this is a later half. We'll come to it later. But one of these rules is that the words that end in vowel plus s, okay, like this one, that are stressed on the last syllable, always have an accent, like DC says, right? DC says. See, it's ending in vowel and s, right? Is, DC says, is ending in is, like says. That is why the e has an accent. Understanding? Says is a short word and only has one syllable, says. So it doesn't require one accent. However, DC says is a longer word. It's a bigger word, right? So it does need one, okay? That is the reason it actually needs one. Yes? You're understanding, right? Don't worry too much about it right now. We'll explain it later. So main thing is that since it's a very big word, DC says, the E is having an accent. You can see over here, okay? The E is having an accent because it's a big word. DC says, okay? Else we will not know where to put an accent. There has to be a stress on one particular part of the word, right? And you will understand in English, more than in English, in Spanish, stress is very important. Some of you were asking me, why do we put a mark on a letter, okay? This is because in Spanish, the stress is very important in words, okay? And to me personally, I believe that is one of the reasons why Spanish is such a musical language, unlike English and German, okay? Spanish is soft music, okay? Because perhaps of the stress factor, if you listen to Spanish, you will feel like you're, singing. It's not that it's actually not a language, it's a song actually. That is how it came to my life, right? So that is how it goes for the stress factor. Now, I'll move right to the next. Numbers 23 and 26, okay? Correct? 23 and 26. After 16, 23 and 26. Till now, everything is clear. Raise your hands. Till 16. Is everything clear? Are you understanding what I'm saying? It's clear means you're understanding what I'm saying. I'm not saying, can you memorize and tell me right now? No. You're just understanding what I am saying. I'm not telling, okay, come here and tell me what is 1 to 10 without looking at your copy. No, not that. Just understand what I'm saying and match it with what I'm telling you to do. Okay. Correct? Okay. What about the others? There are almost, 200 students. Okay. And what about the others? Are you not understanding what I'm saying? Is it very difficult? It should not be difficult. Okay. I've made it the easiest as possible. It is new. It is not difficult. It is new, right? It's not difficult. Okay. So we said this change happens in two more numbers, okay? Like, desi says wala change. That is 23 and 26. 23 is 23 and 26 is 26. Write these down. 23 is 23 and 26 is 26. Write it down. It is for the exact same reason, okay? You will know why, okay? In Spanish, 20 is 20. 20. V-E-I-N-T-E. Write it down, 20. Okay? In Spanish, 20 is 20. Okay? And tres means 3. Tres means 3. Correct, simple. So 23 is 23. It is 20 y tres. That is why it becomes together 23. Okay? It's the same logic, same pattern as Desi says. And 20 says, 20 y 6, 20 and 6. 26, 26. Okay? Now that we have seen the hardest one, let's look at the rest of the numbers higher than 16. Do you notice that it's always 10 or 20 or 30 followed by E and another number? This is the pattern we were actually talking about. With 10s and 20s, these words are written together like we saw previously and might show a few changes. But once we reach the 30s, they start being written separately. So it becomes a lot clearer. So what is being said over here? Now that we have seen the hardest one, okay, let's see what happens from 16 to 30, okay. So you will notice that it's always a 10 or a 20 or a 30 followed by E and another number. I will tell this to you later. You have not seen it yet, okay. This is the pattern we were actually talking about with 10s and 20s. These words are written together, okay, like, you know, 23, 26, 16, 18, 17, right? Together, they become together, they're clubbed together. But after, you know, 30, 31, 32, 33 in Spanish, they're actually separate. We do not write it together, okay? So it becomes very clear to understand why it is like that. See this, okay? This you only have to memorize, okay? Understand how it goes, and few things you only have to memorize, okay? You've got one whole week, it is enough time to memorize these few numbers, okay? And these are very crucial numbers, okay? If you know how to say this, if you understand the pattern of these numbers, you can say any number, okay? It's not that different numbers have different names. It's like English only, right? Correct? So if you know how to say 100, you know how to say 200. You don't have to learn 300 or 400. You know 1 and you know 100. So it's 100, 100, right? It is like that. So 10 is this, 11 is once. Once is like once in English, but it is once, okay? 11 is once, 12 is doce, 13 is trece, write these down. 13 is trece, 14 is 14, 15 is 15, okay? And 16 I already told you is 16, 17 is 17, 18 is 18, 19 is 19, 20 is 20, and 21 is 21, okay? Now, when you're memorizing 16, 17, 18, 19, remember that it is 16. Remember like this, 16 becomes 16, 17 becomes 17, okay? 18 becomes 18, and 19 becomes 19. It is very easy, correct? Just club together, okay? You have to learn what is 20 because it's a new word, okay? 20 means 20, 20. And again, 21, 20, y 1. 21, 21, 20 and 1 is 21. 20 y 1 is 21. It's very easy, same as DC says, right? Now you know why I told you to understand why DC says is like that. Now you know how to say 21. Can anybody tell me what is going to be 22 if you want to try and say? From the same logic, can you write it down? 22, what can 22 be? From the same logic. I just want to see how much you're understanding. Can anyone try? Yes? What is 22? Okay, write it down. What is 22? Very good. Amazing, amazing, superb. It is 22. Amazing, superb. It's 22. Clap for yourself, okay? Very good, okay? Whoever has written, okay, it's 22. Okay? 22. It is not 22, it is 22, not 2012, right? So it's 22, of course. You're understanding, right? Very good. Very good, amazing. Okay? Yes, very good, amazing, superb. Okay, okay. Yes. So I'll move on to the next slide because you're understanding what I'm saying, right? I will just move on to the next slide. Yeah. Do not, panic. It is again the same logic, okay? 22 is 22, but with an accent. 22. And 23 is 23, E with an accent. Just remember the accents, okay? You know the logic, how it goes? Yes, 20 plus 2, 20, y 2 is 22. Just remember it's 22. Again, 23, E with an accent. 24 is 24, same. 25 is 25. 26 is 26, like this he says, E with an accent. Same, is the same. It's just like that is DS, he says. And this is 20, he says, right? Same thing. 26. And 30 is 30. Remember this, 30 is 30, okay? 30 is 30. Now, it becomes so easy because 31, it is not 31, it is 31. It's easy, right? 30 and 1, 31. 31. It's very easy. It is not 31 like the conjugation, no. You just have to write E. It is easier actually. 31, 31, 32 is 32, 33 is 33. Yes, same way. What is 34? Write it down, guys. What is 34? What is 34? You can see the slide, right? I'm sharing. Yes, very good, amazing. 34 is 34. 35? What is 35? What is 35? 35. Yes, 35. Yeah. 36, 36, 37, 38, 39. Now we have 40, that is 40. Okay. 40. Okay. 40 is 40. Okay. Remember this. 30, 40, 50. Remember only these. The rest you already know. You just have to learn what is 1 and 10. And then you know what is 41, 42, 43. You already know that, right? 41 is 41 again. 42 is 42. 43 is 43. 44, 44, right? 45, 46, 48, 49, 40, 10. Now again 50, 50 here only. Okay? 50, 50. Remember this, 50 again. 51, 52, 53 till 60, that is 60. 60 is 60. Remember these, 60 is 60. Again, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, it goes on till 70, that is 70. Okay, that is 70, 70. Okay, again the same till 80, that is 80. 80 is 80. 81, 82, 83, 84, 85 till you get to 90. 90 is 90. Okay, isn't it easy? Understanding? You're getting the logic, right? Once you get the logic, you'll be able to do anything with the language. So, repeat with me, okay? 10, 20 for 20, 30 for 30, 40 for 40, 50 for 50, 60 for 60, 70 for 70, 80 for 80, 90 for 90. Okay, cool? Now, what is 100? Let's see what is 100. 100 is 100. Be careful. Okay. Here I've written one thing, cuidado. Cuidado means careful. Okay. You can write it down. In Spanish, cuidado means careful. Notice that 100 is 100. Okay. 100. C-I-E-N. 100 is 100. Okay. Write it down. Okay. 100 is 100. Correct? But in every other number that follows, it changes to ciento and is followed by the next number. For example, 100 is 100, okay? 100 is 100, but 101 is 101, okay? 101 is 101. It does not become 101. No, it is 101. This is something you have to learn, right? 101. Again, 102 is 102. 103 is 103, correct? 104 is 104. Yes, understanding? And 187 would be 187 because 87 is 87. Again, 80 is 80, 7 is 7. So 87 is 87, understanding? And 187 is 187. Is this clear? 187, raise your hands. Yes. If you're understanding what is 187, 187, the way I told you. Okay? Raise your hands. Okay? Very good. You'll understand. Don't memorize, but just understand the way I'm saying. Unlike in English, hundreds are written in only one word, okay, in Spanish. For example, 200, that is one word, is two words in English, 200. 200 are two different words in English. In Spanish, when it is 200, it becomes doscientos. Doscientos, okay? 200, doscientos, okay? Same way, trescientos, okay? That is 300. So dos cientos basically means 200s in Spanish. Dos is 2, right? Remember, dos is 2 and ciento is 100. Cien is 100. But when we have 200s, it is a plural. That is why it is doscientos. Understanding? Why the S is there? Because it's plural. There are 200s. That is why it is doscientos. Okay. Same way, it is trescientos is 300. Cuatrocientos is 400. Okay. Now, however, what follows, it does not work like in English. A space and then the next number. In the same way, it would normally be written. For example, 842. 842, okay. Just understand, okay, will be 842 in Spanish. I know it's a little bit, high level, but it's still, since this is your first day, okay. For me, it is very easy because I have given the time to learn it, to understand why it is like that. So right now, just understand, okay. It is a new name, but when you analyze, it is the same logic is applying. 800 like 200 is 200. 800 is 800, right? 800 will naturally be 800. Okay? Correct? 800 is 800. Correct? And 42 is 42 because 40 is 40 and 2 is 2. So together it is 842, 842. Right? Understanding what I'm saying? I have not changed my slide. It is the same slide. I am telling it to you, which is why you have to write it down, okay? I'm not changing any slides, the same slide. Cuidado, be careful. I'm just telling you, making you understand and write it down, guys, okay? I'm not changing slides. It is all written here. I'm just explaining it to you in my words, okay? Is it clear to you? Yeah? And if you're not being able to see the screen, it can be net issue from your end. From our end, it is absolutely perfect as of now. Okay, check your own internet connection first. All right, you can refresh it if you want, just refresh and join it, right? So yeah, it's like that. 842 is 842. Correct? I'll move over to the next one. This is clear to you why it is like that. It is small, but a lot of things to remember and understand. That is why today I've made it a little bit smaller. Okay, I've not given you a lot of content because the small content needs a lot of understanding. Okay. Now, as I told you, plurals, okay, do change in Spanish. In English, the word 100 doesn't change. In English, okay, whether it's 100, 200, or 400. This does change a little bit in Spanish. For example, okay, 156. In English, in Spanish, it is called, okay, 156, okay? 156 is very easy, okay? You just analyze it yourself, sit after the class, write down few extra numbers and write it yourself by checking, okay? The things that you're writing down, okay? 156 is 156, it's 100 for 100, 50 is 50, and 6 is 6. So you just add it together, 156. But if it is 470, okay, what will we say? We will say 470. 400 is 400. Ciento is 100. Cuatro is 4. So 400 is 400, okay? And 70 is 70. It will take time, but it's okay. Just write it down, okay? And practice after a class, okay? Instead of ciento, when it's more than 100, we add the two letters, okay, at the end to make it plural. So it is cientos. Yeah, it becomes cientos. I already told you why it is doscientos. Okay, it is not like 200. It is doscientos because two is a plural in Spanish. And in Spanish, plurals always change. Plurals always change, unlike in English. Okay. So next slide. Now, some irregularities are there. Okay. So as of now, we are done with the learning of numbers. What I am doing right now, okay, is just to tell you what are the exceptions at times, okay, which
Hello.
exist in Spanish, but
Hello.
in English, these are not there. Hello?
Yes, ma'am. The can you change the slide because it is not visible the second slide. It
Can
is
you see
number
the
10 to 90.
irregularities?
Numbers 10 to 90 it is.
Okay, wait. You can see numbers 10 to 90 right now.
Yes, ma'am. 10 to 90.
Now, has it changed?
No, ma'am. Please reshare it.
Okay, I'll just reshare it. Okay.
Mm.
So which slide are you seeing right now?
Numbers 10 to 90.
Okay, wait, I'll reshare because here I can change it, but I don't know why you're not receiving. I'll just, reshare this once. Can you see it right now?
No, ma'am. It is still
Can you see a different
10 to
slide or is the same slide?
10 to 90. Same, ma'am.
Okay, wait. I'll just start, resharing once again because I think some net is there, some net issue. Okay, wait. Now, can you see it?
Yes, ma'am. It is now visible.
It's visible now. Okay,
Yes,
very
ma'am.
good. So since when this is happening, organizer, since when can't you see the slide?
Ma'am, it was just 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay, before that, how many slides have you seen? I'll just
Exactly.
go back
Yes,
to
ma'am.
that slide. Wait,
Numbers 10 to 90.
this is numbers 10 to 90, right?
Yeah. This was there. Yes.
So after this, have you seen this one?
No, ma'am. It was not visible.
Oh, it was not visible. Okay. So don't worry. Here I've only given you 20 to 90. Okay. From 22 to 90, I already told you everything. Okay. So it's okay. I'll share everything with you. I was just explaining everything. I've explained 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 over here. Here I've given you some exceptions, right? Like cien, ciento, dos cientos, what I just told you right now. Okay. So don't worry, you will get everything. And here the plurals. I was talking about the plurals in Spanish. Okay. Like in 100, it is cien, but when it's 200, it's dos cientos, right? Dos cientos, which means 200. Okay. And here I was in this slide right now, current slide. Some irregulars are there always in Spanish. You can see the present slide, right? Some irregulars are there. Okay. So sometimes the number in front of cientos will be the exact same word we learned in the beginning, okay? Such as cuatrocientos or ochocientos for 400 and 800, okay? Why you understanding? Because cuatro is 4, right? And cientos is 100. So cuatrocientos is 400, right? And the S is there because cuatrocientos is a plural number, correct? So ochocientos is the same, ocho and cientos, ochocientos. But here also there are some exceptions. What are those? These are setecientos, that is 700. Setecientos is 700. And novecientos, right, which means 900. Setecientos is 700 and novecientos is 900 that don't exactly use the words siete and nueve. It is not sietecientos, it is not nuevecientos. Is a short form exception so that pronunciation becomes easier, okay? We don't say sietecientos, it's setecientos. Are you understanding? You can write it down. Setecientos, not sietecientos. And novecientos, not nuevecientos. These are exceptions, okay? I need to learn these exceptions the way I'm telling it to you. All right? Okay. The most different one, okay, now 500. I told you earlier, cien is 100, dos cientos is 200, tres cientos is 300, cuatro cientos is 400. But it is not cinco cientos, it is quinientos. This is an exception, which sounds completely different than cinco and doesn't even end with cientos, okay? It's a special one, so I'm sorry about it, but just learn it, okay? It's quinientos, okay? Quinientos, okay? Do not pronounce it in a different way. It is quinientos, okay? 500 is quinientos, okay? Quinientos means 500, right? Cinco becomes quinientos when we call it 500, okay? And below I've given porque a veces nadie te entiende. This is just a Spanish, sentence meaning Okay, why is it that at times nobody understands you? This is for irregularities. I know it is difficult to understand irregularities. For that, you have to memorize this only. It is a rule, and a rule is a rule. You cannot say, why is the rule like this? There is no such logic. Perhaps, according to me, just to, make the pronunciation a little bit more, in a sound in a better way. Okay, it can be cinco more than that. Quinientos is easier to say. Okay, quinientos, but it is history. Okay, so just remember 500 is quinientos, not cinco. Okay, so till now everything is okay. Raise your hands. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Okay, good. Okay, now we have almost reached the finale. Okay, the end of the class. Little bit is left. Here I'm going to say why numbers also have genders in Spanish. The words for hundreds can be masculine or feminine, okay, depending on the noun they're modifying. For example, okay, if you want to say that you have 300 t-shirts, okay, or 100 t-shirts, whatever be the number, because t-shirt is actually a feminine word in Spanish, okay. T-shirt is called camiseta. Camiseta is the word for t-shirt. Camiseta. C-A-M-I-S-E-T-A. Camiseta is a t-shirt. So it will become 300 camisetas, not 300 camisetas, because camiseta ends in A, right? 300 camisetas. Okay. But if you're talking about 300 dishes, dishes means plates, okay? Or dishes means anything that is served on a dish. It can also be a food, right? When you go to a restaurant, you say, this dish is good, you try this one, right? Okay. So, yeah, 300 dishes, we say 300 platos, okay? Because plato means dish or a plate, okay? Plato means plate or a dish. So, if you want to say 300 dishes or 300 plates, you will say 300 platos. Okay, are you understanding this? Why it is O over here and why it was A over there? Because it is masculine, that is feminine. Plato is masculine, it ends in O, and camiseta ends in A, that is why it is feminine. Okay, simple. That is the only thing. If you're just counting because the number isn't related to any noun, you don't need to worry about its gender. So if there is no noun after the number, then don't have to worry about gender. For example, 300, okay, 300 platos. Here we are using os because plato is there, which is masculine. But if you're not using platos, you don't have to worry about it. It's just 300, okay? Only 300. Or if you want to say like 200, okay, just 200 and not 200 t-shirts. If it is 200 t-shirts, it will be 200 camisetas. But if I'm not saying t-shirt, it's just 200. That is 200 in Spanish. You will take your time, but just understand as of now. Later, go through the slides, go through the notes you're making from what I'm saying, and it is very easy. Okay, I'll move on to the next slide. Okay, so here let's just revise. Okay, let us revise what we just did. I know a lot of new information has been given to you, and this is not just the end. Next class also I will explain a little bit more about this, more on the application, how to apply these numbers, because if you don't know how it is called, you cannot even apply, right? So 100 is 100, 101 is 101, correct? You understood this, right? Why 100 becomes 100 when it is 101, 102, 103? It is not 101, it is 101. This is again a rule, okay? 102 is 102, 103 is 103, 110 is 110 because 10 is 10, right? 111 is 111 because 11 is 11, okay? 135 is 135, okay? 135, correct? 200 is 200 and 201 is 201, okay? So here repasamos means let us revise, okay? Repasamos means let us revise in Spanish. Understanding? Repasamos, write it down, let us revise. The next one, 202 is 202, 300 again is 300, 400 is 400, okay? 500 is 500, 600 is 600, 700 is 700, 800 is 800, 900 is 900, and 1000, okay, is mil. M-I-L. Mil is 1000. Okay, understanding? Mil. It is not un mil, it is just mil. In English, we say 1000, okay. But in Spanish, 1000 is only mil. That's it, okay. Cool, you have understood till now? I'll move ahead to what is there next. Yes? Yeah. So this is till the end. I will not give you any more information. Okay. So whatever you have written down, just revise it in the most beautiful way. Okay. Give at least, like every single afternoon when you don't have classes or when you have free time, at least, half an hour to 45 minutes. Take time to go through the slides. Because in the second part of our lesson, we will learn about ordinal numbers. Okay. Ordinal numbers like first, second, third. These are ordinal numbers, how to tell the time and talk about the date. Okay, I will do this in the second class. Okay, but as of now, I'm telling you, there is so much of information today. Now, if you do not practice this, if you don't take it seriously, next day there will be no point of you in coming to class because you will not understand anything. So it is very easy. Just give 40 to 45 minutes. Okay, every single day, whenever you have time, and go through the slides. Okay, understand it, so that I'm not telling you to give a class to it next day. Just understand yourself. That will also do. Okay. So hasta luego means till the next class on Saturday. Remember this also. Hasta luego. Okay. It's like hasta pronto, hasta luego. We say this when we say bye bye, goodbye. Okay. In Spanish, hasta luego means till the next class. That is after 1 week Saturday. Okay. Cool. So this is what I had to say. Okay. So this is as of now everything for today. If you're having any concerns, organizer, just raise your hands. I will take your questions one after another because I know a lot of things has been told to you. So if you're having any concerns, just raise your hand. Okay. So yeah, can we take up the questions, organizer?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
From participants, if you have any question, please raise your hand. We have Sohini Das. Sohini Das, do you have any question? Sohini Das, please unmute.
Yes, Sohini, go ahead. If you have any question, switch on your video, okay, and put forward your question, whatever you have concerns.
Sohini Das, are you there? Hello. Rajesh Day. Rajesh Day, are you there? Do you have any questions? For participants, if you have any questions, please come forward and raise your hand and please ask your question. It is now open for the question answer session. So if anyone has any questions, please put your questions. There is one question in the question answer section, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, Rajesh Day, you want to say something?
Any questions or everybody has understood? You just want to revise? If you have understood, you will be having questions. Okay. If you're not having questions, means you need to revise more. Okay.
Ma'am, have you seen the question answer section? There is one question from Momita Sarkar, I think.
So what is the question? Regarding today's class, do we have any question? Regarding today's class? The numbers that I taught you, do you have any question? Yes? I think there are no questions, right? Because everybody has understood what I just said.
Yes, ma'am. Participants, if you have any questions, please raise your hand. Otherwise, we will be closing the session.
I think everybody has understood, right? Okay, so I'll do one thing. I will share the slides with you. Okay, go through it. Okay, go through it with your heart and write down. Okay, just write down whatever you're going through. Okay, do not see it, write it down, because when you practice now, do one thing. I'll give you a homework right now. Okay, when I share the slides with you, you can do one thing. You can practice yourself. Okay, by writing. Let me try writing 1 to 20. Okay, in say 5 minutes. It's easy. Revise it, and without looking at the slides with your notes, write down 1 to 20. What is it? So practice like that. Okay, if you practice like this, now self practice, you will learn a lot of things. Practice like that only. I'm not saying write down 1 to 100 right now. At least write down 1 to 20, then 20 to 30, then 30 to 50, like that. And if you understand the logic, everything is very easy. Okay, it's just an addition, nothing else. The same 1 to 10 is used in a different way, and that is how you get 21, 22, 23. Just 1 to 10. Learn 1 to 10 with all your heart. If you understand 1 to 10, know the logic, you will be able to do anything. You can write 92, 95, 170, whatever you want. Just that is very important. Okay, so that's it. Shall we end the session, or do we have any questions? Okay, I think you are done, right? Nobody has any such question for from today's class, is it? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Arpita Chaudhary, do you have any question?
Yes. Hello.
Hello, Arpita. Switch on your video and ask your question. What is your question?
Hello.
Yes, Arpita,
Yes,
you're audible but
Arpita.
not visible. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, go
Hello.
ahead, Arpita. Good evening. Go ahead. Buenas tardes.
ম্যাম ম্যাম বলছিলাম 15 এর প্রোনাউন্সিয়েশনটা কি হবে একটু বলুন
15.
ইয়েস
Okay. Have you written it down? তুমি লিখেছো 15 টা কি হবে?
হ্যাঁ মানে আমি প্রোনাউন্সিয়েশনটা করতে পারছি না
তুমি কি লিখেছো আগে, তুমি সেটা বলো আমাকে।
কিউ ইউ কিউ এক সেকেন্ড ম্যাম অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমি 10, 11, 12 পর্যন্ত লিখেছি, তারপরে আমি উচ্চারণগুলো লিখছিলাম বাংলায়, তো ওটা হচ্ছে যে আমি মিস করে গেছি।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, ওকে। So you understood 11, 12, right? 11, 12 তো বুঝতে পেরেছো, right?
Yes ma'am.
Okay, so 15 is 15. QUINC, 15. Okay,
QUINC. Okay, thank you ma'am.
you're welcome. Any more questions?
No ma'am, no, thank you.
Any other question? I think we are almost done. So organizer, I think we can wrap up the session, okay, for today. Next day, I will continue from this to the next part, okay? And you practice yourself, any other concern you have from today's class, we will discuss in the next class, correct? But you have to practice for that, okay? So thank you so much. Love you all, okay? Hasta luego. Hasta la segunda clase, okay? You're welcome.
So, ma'am, we can close the session now. We have provided the feedback link, ma'am, for today's session, and it is also attendance come feedback link. So it is requested to all participants to mark yourself as a presence for today by giving this feedback. So, ma'am, with your permission, we can end the
Sure.
session.
Thank you so much, organizer. Love you all, okay? Practice with all your heart and see you in the next class, okay? Take care.
It is requested to all participants to kindly note down the feedback link. And we are in the end.